What's up? It's your boy Fats. In prison, inmate's property is the most important thing up in there because once he gets his property or whatever, that's the only thing that he has for the remaining of his time. So anything that he gets up in there is valuable to him. I remember one time when I was in Ellsworth Correctional Facility at this time, you know, I come to the day room, do my normal stuff. It's on a Saturday. Everybody stayed out late on Friday. So it's Saturday morning, everybody kind of like getting ready up in the day room and stuff like that. I mean, this day room is just basically, 5 tables in the day room, TV right there, just a little pod area. So I'm sitting down there, me and my homeboy player, me and him roommates and stuff, we just sitting down there just jippity japping, in the morning and stuff. So that's when this dude named DB, he come busting out the cell, who got my motherfucking watch? Who got my motherfucking watch? So when he said that, everybody kind of look up at the DB up there, because DB kind of big, not big as in, muscle wise, but kind of heavy set, So he come running down the stairs right there in the middle right there. He come running down, who got my motherfucking watch? Who got my motherfucking watch? So he comes straight over there, to me and player. He's sitting over there, he's like, y'all niggas got my watch. I was like, shit, nah, man, we ain't got your motherfucking watch. I mean, you took it off last night, And he was like, oh, for real? So he sat down at the table. He was like, somebody motherfucker got my motherfucking watch and shit, So then he get up, got the pacing around. He said, somebody gonna come up with this motherfucker, because my grandpa gave it to me. Somebody gonna come up with this motherfucking watch, She said, shit, it's going down, because I'm the only one that got one around here like it. So as soon as I find out who got this motherfucker, I'm going to beat their motherfucking ass, He just going off and on, about the whole situation right there. So me and Player, we go back up to the cell, just sitting up in there chilling and shit. And then I was like, shit, damn. That's kind of crazy, man. His motherfucking watch came up missing. But then we got to go back to the night before that, in the story. So last night, we was sitting at the table, me, Player, and DB, we all sitting up at the table right here, We basically talking and stuff. So when DB came downstairs, he was like, I'm gonna take off my motherfucking watch just because Fox tried to do something, So he had his watch, on the table right there. So he took it off. So then like probably about 5-10 minutes later, that's when the guard came over. Then he was like, hey, Mr. Bryant, you out here causing ruckus and stuff, I see you kind of moving. He was just basically telling him that he see him kind of moving through the pod, kind of hostile, and stuff. So that's when I get up, I just leave, Players stay down there. I get up and I leave because the police right there talking. So I don't really want to get myself involved in nothing like that because, the police and all that shit. So I go back up to my cell and just up in there chilling and stuff. That's when, Player came back up and then he was like, Lieutenant Bryant, he must don't like you or something. I was like, why you say that? He's like, cause shit, the way that he was just talking, he know how you be kind of, moving around there. He'd say he ain't done to the fact and stuff. And I was like, shit, for real, man. I was like, damn, Lieutenant, on me about some more bullshit like that, And then he's like, yeah, man. He's like, shit, he was just kind of talking kind of crazy, for you a minute. I was like, dang, man, I ain't even did nothing to that man or anything like that. Now, at that time, I was just moving a little tobacco and stuff around the dorm and stuff like that. But shit, it wasn't really no major thing or whatever what I was doing. But shit, I was kind of quiet. I didn't really, mess with nobody or anything like that or try to cause no kind of havoc or anything like that. Just being a normal person around there, just trying to make a few dollars here, trying to make a few dollars there, So player was like, yeah, man, he was just, you know what I'm saying, just talking and stuff. And I was like, dang, man. So I was like, shit, after that, you know what I'm saying, I was going to watch myself because I knew they would probably end up shaking me down or something or whatever. So I just left off, you know what I'm saying, me and him just, you know what I'm saying, boom. So the next day, like I said, now we back on, you know what I'm saying, Saturday, you know. So I'm sitting up here, you know what I'm saying, talking to, you know what I'm saying, player, you know what I'm saying. I was like, shit, we was just telling the whole situation what kind of like basically happened at night and stuff. So that's when player get up out the room, he go walk around, he's like, man, that motherfucker out there, man, he kind of mad, you know what I'm saying, about this whole motherfucking situation and stuff. So I was like, shit, I'm going to stay my ass about that, you know what I'm saying, for real. So we go to lunch. Lunch is like hamburger day, so everybody going to be in at the chow hall, you know what I'm saying, on hamburger day. So we get to I get down to the table, I'm start eating my food and stuff, you know what I'm saying. That's when DB come over there, you know, to the table and stuff. He's like, hey man, Fast man, I hope you ain't steal my shit, you know what I'm saying. I was like, man, I ain't steal. I said, why would I steal your stuff, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, you know what I'm saying. He was like, man, cause shit, it just didn't came up missing out of nowhere, you know. He said, I know I took it off last night, but shit, I don't know what I actually did with it or whatever. I was like, shit, man, but I ain't got nothing. I said, you can come up to my room and shake it down, you know, and see that I ain't got your, you know what I'm saying, your watch or whatever. Because like I said, DB had some hands. I already knew it, you know what I'm saying. The police knows it, you know what I'm saying. Everybody kind of know about this dude named DB. So I was like, shit, man, I ain't got it, man, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, shit, for real, man, you know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna have to come up with my stuff, you know what I'm saying? Even if they come up with it, I'm still gonna whoop them anyway, because, you know what I'm saying, my grandfather gave it to me, you know what I'm saying? He just kept going on about that whole situation or whatever. So I was like, all right, man. I said, if I see somebody with it or whatever, I go ahead, you know, and tell you, you know what I'm saying, if I kind of know something that's kind of going on with that. He was like, shit, you better, man, you know what I'm saying. The way that he said it was like disrespectful and shit. So I come back up to the room. I'm up in there chilling and shit, you know. So then that's when player come back up and he was like, shit, did DB ride up on you, man? I was like, shit, yeah, man. I was like, shit, man, I don't know why he really tripping and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, on the real. He was like, shit, man, he tripped with me too, man. He fell out with me. I was like, shit, damn, man. I was looking at him and he was looking at me, you know. I was like, shit, man, we're going to have to tag team this dude or something, you know, because I know we can't handle this dude, you know what I'm saying, one-on-one. Now, I knew I ain't trying to be scared or nothing like that, but I just knew that this dude right here knew all the, you know what I'm saying, things, you know, for real. He had them hands like that. He had, you know what I'm saying, I know he was kind of chunky and stuff, but he still had them motherfucking hands and stuff with his bald head ass, you know. So we sitting out in the day room again, being playing and stuff, you know. That's when DB ride up on us again, you know what I'm saying. He kind of hostile, mad and stuff, you know what I'm saying. He's like, man, somebody go, you know what I'm saying, for real. They gonna, you know what I'm saying, end up getting his blood picked up off the walls around here, you know what I'm saying, fucking with me, you know what I'm saying, about my damn watch and stuff. He's like, shit, that's what, you know what I'm saying. He's like, my grandpa gave that to me, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, my grandma brought it up here, you know what I'm saying. I got it through, you know what I'm saying, the visitation and stuff like that, and made sure that, you know what I'm saying, I got my PIN number, my inmate number on my watch and stuff, so that way the people wouldn't kind of take it and stuff. So he got to explain it, you know what I'm saying. I was like, damn, I ain't know that was your grandpa's, you know what I'm saying, watch. And he was like, yeah, man, you know, it's a one of a kind around here because ain't nobody got this watch right here. So I'm like, shit, damn, man, you know. So a few minutes later, like I said, you know what I'm saying, he get up, you know what I'm saying, walking around, he go over to that dude Fox, you know what I'm saying, talking to him for a minute and stuff. So they getting kind of, you know what I'm saying, like they about to, you know what I'm saying, throw hands up and stuff like that. You know, that's when the guard came up in there. Like I said, with DB, you always got to, you know what I'm saying, kind of, because he one of the people that, you know what I'm saying, are always on the move around there. He wasn't no bully or nothing like that, but he just, you know, was one of them people that just was just off the chain when it came to certain things like that. But yeah, he was like, man, he came back over the table. He was like, man, that motherfucking Fox, you know what I'm saying? I think that he probably got it, you know what I'm saying, playing some motherfucking games or something like that. I was like, man, why would Fox do something like that when he already know that y'all already be beefing and stuff like that? He was like, shit, man, he probably, you know what I'm saying, just want to test it out to see if he can, you know what I'm saying, handle the DB, you know what I'm saying? I was like, shit, man, I don't know, DB, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So then that's when player was like, hey, you know what I'm saying, maybe, you know what I'm saying, it's in your room or something. You got to go shake it down, you know what I'm saying, real good or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He was like, shit, what I'm about to go do is shake down everybody's room down here until I find my watch, you know what I said? I was like, man, I don't think a lot of people gonna do that, you know what I'm saying? I don't think them gang members over there gonna let you do all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you had gang members and said you had the Mexicans all up in there, you know what I'm saying? For him to go over there and try to shake down everybody's cell, he was gonna cause some type of ruckus, a one-man army or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Him against 100, you know what I'm saying? Like Drewski said, you know. So I'm sitting up here just trying to, just trying to calm him down or whatever. He's like, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, man. I'm going to shake down everybody. So he says, I know somebody gotta have it, you know what I'm saying, for real, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gotta have my motherfucker watching. So we'll go outside, shit, you can shake down my cell, you know what I'm saying, for real, man, you know what I'm saying, for real. So he didn't go shake down my cell. He started, you know what I'm saying, trying to do bully, you know what I'm saying, other individuals trying to look that, you know what I'm saying, to their cell. So everybody, you know what I'm saying, that he was going to, they was like, nah, we ain't doing that, you know. So he was getting upset, you know what I'm saying. So every time he go to a motherfucker's room trying to get them to check it down, you know what I'm saying, look for his stuff, everybody was saying no and stuff. So he was getting frustrated, you know what I'm saying, every time he went to somebody's room. So they was passing him up and stuff like that. But shit, I was over there looking, player over there laughing and stuff. I was like, shit, man. I said, man, shit, man, you got to be cool because it's DB, you know what I'm saying? Might be on some more motherfucking crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? For real, man. So I'm sitting up here, you know what I'm saying, just looking at, you know what I'm saying, DB going to everybody's room, trying to shake it down or whatever. So then that's when they get to Fox's room. And when they get to Fox's room, that's when, you know what I'm saying, I kind of like hell broke loose, you know what I'm saying, at the cell. Because I guess him and Fox always was bumping heads when it came to that. But shit, I don't know what their whole situation was or why they was always beefing or whatever when it came to that. But they always used to kind of bump heads. He just had somebody that he can just, you know what I'm saying, just, I guess, get his aggression off on or whatever, or try to bully him or whatever. I don't know whatever. I ain't never seen no money or anything like that exchanged when them two individuals or whatever. But I just knew that they always just kind of bumped heads when it came to all that. But you know what I'm saying, when they get there, and that's when he just quit shaking down everybody else going to other people's rooms and stuff like that after the whole conversation what they was having over there. He come over there and sit down at the table with me. I just happened to just be getting up at that time, and he was like, what, you don't want to sit down or whatever? I was like, shit, man, what you mean, DB? You know what I'm saying, for real, man. He was like, shit, man, for real, man, I need somebody, you know what I'm saying, to try to kind of help me figure this out. I was like, shit, I can't help you figure it out, you know what I'm saying, because I don't even know. And he was like, man, I know somebody, you know what I'm saying, got my motherfucking watch around here. They probably trying to sell to somebody over in another sale house to where they can't, you know what I'm saying, know whose it is or whatever. And I was like, shit, damn, man, maybe you're right, man. Maybe you're wrong. I don't know, man. So then that's when, you know what I'm saying, player come down and sit down. And he was like, man, he's like, you finished checking down the sales? He's like, man, yeah, man. He was like, man, that shit ain't gonna work, man, because ain't nobody just gonna let me just shake down their sales and stuff like that. And I was like, shit, I told you, you know what I'm saying, DB. And when I said that, he's like, man, shit, facts, man, you know what I'm saying, for real, man, you know what I'm saying, you probably know something that's going on around here, man, you know, because you always be hustling and dealing and trading with people. Somebody probably, you know, pushed up on you to try to see if we wanted to try to sell it or something like that. I was like, man, for real, ain't nobody did nothing like that, you know what I'm saying, for real. You know what I'm saying, for real, player, man, you know what I'm saying, ain't nobody did nothing like that, you know what I'm saying. So then I was like, shit, I'm just gonna get up, man, go up to the room, you know what I'm saying, for a minute. He was like, all right, man, you know what I'm saying? If you hear anything or whatever, you know what I'm saying, about my little watch, you know what I'm saying, just let me kind of know. I was like, shit, all right, man, you know. Now in the penitentiary, you know what I'm saying, when people get their property or something like that took, it could be a good situation, it could be a bad situation. It just depended on the whole situation of the whole thing. But yeah, if you tuned into this video, you know what I'm saying, hit a 1, you know what I'm saying, let me know that you rocking with the video, you know what I'm saying, let me know, leave that in the comments of number 1 if you got this far in the video. So I go back up to my room, and when I'm up in my room, that's when Player come back up in there. And I was like, shit, man, what are you talking about? He was like, man, you know what I'm saying? He just getting all kind of hype. He just trying to figure everything out and stuff. I was like, shit, all right, man. I was like, shit, man, you know anything about it? And he was like, nah, man, for real, I don't, man. You know, I don't even know. So then on Sunday, he's still, you know what I'm saying, first thing in the morning coming out. Somebody, you know what I'm saying, as soon as I find out, you know what I'm saying, somebody got my motherfucking watch, it's going to be motherfucking drama, you know what I'm saying, going on up in here, you know what I'm saying, on the real or whatever. It's going to be some motherfucking drama. It's going to be some motherfucking drama. And he just kept on saying that. He just kept on saying that. And I was like, shit, damn, man, you know. Damn, man, I'm telling you, man, you know what I'm saying, for real, ain't nobody got his damn watch, you know what I'm saying, I'm just saying that, you know what I'm saying, kind of under my breath, but you know what I'm saying, he kind of heard me and stuff. He's like, Fast man, for real, man, you know what I'm saying, you playing and joking and stuff, you know what I'm saying, but this is real ass shit, you know what I'm saying, for real, man, we can get down and dirty, you know what I'm saying, about this. They end up gonna be peeling the blood off the walls on you. I was like, man, what? I said, come on, DB, man, why you tripping? I said, man, I'm telling you, man, I ain't got your damn watch, you know what I'm saying? That's what I kind of, you know what I'm saying, just kind of, you know what I'm saying, stood my stuff up because shit, he was getting kind of mad with me talking some more crazy shit, talking about peeling the bloods off the walls on me. Ain't gonna be no type of mishaps and stuff like that. So then I was like, shit, man, damn, man, this motherfucker shit, this nigga right here, you know what I'm saying, for real, he crazy as a motherfucker, you know. So I go back up in my room and stuff while he down there, you know what I'm saying, with jabbing and doing all this stuff and stuff. So I was like, shit, damn. It's all throughout the day, you know what I'm saying. So the next morning, come out doing the same thing, but this time I don't even go out to the day room or nothing like that. I just stayed in my room just chilling and stuff. Because like I said, he ripping the room, you know what I'm saying, telling everybody, you know what I'm saying, he going to, you know what I'm saying, find out who got his watch. So then that's when the guards, you know what I'm saying, came up to him, you know what I'm saying, basically telling him that he needs to kind of chill out, you know what I'm saying. And then that's when he got talking about spilling the blood, you know what I'm saying, you know, putting the blood and stuff all out the walls of people or whatever and stuff like that. If they don't hurry up and kind of find out who got his watch. And everybody, you know what I'm saying, kind of confused about that whole situation and stuff right there. Because like I said, in the penitentiary, you know, a person's property, you know what I'm saying, is valuable, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to certain things up in there. And a person can lose their life, you know what I'm saying, quick, fast, and a hurry over the whole situation. Because, you know what I'm saying, in the penitentiary, once you lose your property up in there, things be kind of bad and stuff. And they already knew how that man was, you know what I'm saying. They already knew that he was one of the people that, you know, didn't play, that he always would go to the hole for whooping on somebody or whatever. So they already knew what type of individual he was, but, you know, everybody be trying to calm him down because he was like haywire when it comes to certain things. So then that's when I get up, you know what I'm saying, come up out the room and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Sit down at the table and stuff. Just do my normal thing, you know what I'm saying? Because shit, I don't want this man, you know what I'm saying, tripping or whatever when it comes to certain stuff like that. So then he come over there again to the table and stuff, like hounding me again. Ain't anybody push up on you, asking you any type of questions or whatever? I was like, nah, man, ain't nobody asked me, you know what I'm saying, or anything or nothing like that. He was like, shit, man, for real, man, you know what I'm saying? Shit, somebody gonna have to, today's gonna be the day, today somebody gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, make sure that everything's gonna be all right when it comes to my watch, because shit, after I see my grandma on visit and stuff, and she see that I ain't got it, it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, one of those situations to where somebody up in here gonna have to pay the price. I don't know who gonna have to pay the price, but somebody gonna have to pay the price, you know what I'm saying, today. And I was like, shit, I hope it ain't gonna be me. I was saying that to myself in my head, and Player looking over at me like, shit, basically like the same thing. So we looking back and forth at each other, you know what I'm saying, going ahead like this, listen to this nigga right here talking and stuff. So he go out on visit and stuff. So he come back, you know what I'm saying, just right before count. I'm up in my room because shit, I already know how it is when people come in from visit and stuff. So I'm up in my room instead. So that's when he come in, you know what I'm saying, say, anybody up here got my watch? Anybody up in here got my watch? Somebody need to be putting this on the motherfucking table and stuff like that. So I was like, shit, damn, man, you know what I'm saying? Shit, this motherfucker right here, you know what I'm saying, about to flip out or something. So I'm staying away because, shit, basically I'm just looking over the rail at the whole thing because, shit, if he coming towards me, I'm going to be ready or whatever. So then he goes up in the room, you know what I'm saying, run up on Fox. I don't know why he did it or whatever. I guess he was just finger picking Fox, you know what I'm saying, for the whole situation and stuff right there. But yeah, a few minutes later there, I hear him down there, you know what I'm saying, that kind of rumbling and stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. I just, you know what I'm saying, basically, you know what I'm saying, go to my room and stuff for a minute, for a second and stuff. Then I come but right back out. Like I just come up in there, boom, for a second. And I actually turn around, you know what I'm saying, to kind of look and see kind of what happened or whatever. But yeah, they ended up, you know what I'm saying, taking Fox and DB, you know what I'm saying, to the hole. Boom. So then a little bit later, after count time, that's when, you know what I'm saying, I'm sitting down at the table right there, you know what I'm saying, for a second. And a lieutenant come up in there, you know, and I was sitting at the table right there. He was like, man, what y'all do to DB? You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, what you mean what we do to DB? You know what I'm saying? He said, like, man, you know, shit, he's over in the hole right now. And I was like, yep. And I was like, shit, him and Fox got into it. He was like, man, I told him, man, you know what I'm saying, he need to chill out with that, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And I was like, oh, for real, man? And he was like, yeah, man. He was like, I was going to give him back his watch today, you know. He left it on the table, you know what I'm saying, Friday when I went off from work, but I didn't, you know what I'm saying, he said I had like a couple of days off from work, so I had to wait to come back in and stuff. But yeah, I had this little watch and stuff, and I was like, oh man, you had his watch? And he was like, yeah, man, I had his watch. He was like, shit, man, damn, man. He was like, shit, I knew I should have just took it up to his cell. He said, but the shit, when I finally realized, you know what I'm saying, when I got around there to his cell, I kind of forgot when I was doing my little count and stuff. And I was like, damn, man, that's kind of crazy and stuff. He was like, yeah, man, you know, he was like, yeah, I got his watch and stuff. And for real, I was like, shit, damn. He was like, shit, but shit, I'm gonna go over there and talk to him and make sure that he's all right, you know what I'm saying, see what I can kind of do for him with this situation and stuff, see if we can kind of get him up out of it. I was like, shit, I hope so, you know what I'm saying, Lieutenant, you know what I'm saying. I was like, shit, but man, what about, you know what I'm saying, that stuff that you said that I was doing around in a little pod or whatever, how I was hustling and moving and stuff around there. He was like, shit, we'll talk about that another day, which I might want to watch another video of that, because I can talk about something like that when Lieutenant, you know what I'm saying, went down on me. But yeah, in prison, a person's property is the most important thing up in prison. And when somebody loses their property or whatever, things to be kind of bad when it comes to those type of situations. Some people can't handle the pressure when it comes to certain things up in there like that. But yeah, this is your boy Fast. My best advice to you is, man, don't go to your prison or get yourself in a situation that could put yourself involved in a situation to where you can end up going to prison. But this is your boy Fast. I'm up out here. Y'all stay peaceful. Y'all stay up.